Welcome, everyone, to Hacking Infinity Meatybones, Magical Girl Edition. How are you?
Hooray! We're all awake and alive.
Yes, yes.
Fantastic.
Yes. It's time for Magic Girls.
Mm.
Not in space. Probably. We'll see.
Well, we
We'll see.
might figure out a way to use magic to get into space.
I mean, it's not that hard. If an anime doesn't go into space at least once. How are you, Brad?
Oh,
How's
pretty good.
Brad today?
Let's see. I'm awake.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good.
I
Start.
Yeah. I'm both caffeinated and full of hyper expensive qualia. Which
Hooray!
yeah.
Whatever that is.
Oh. It's like this vitamin supplement and I guess it's not that good since I'm
Methamphetamine?
blanking on the since
Is
I'm
it
blanking on the
memory?
term.
Is it a memory enhancer? Is it like
Yes.
here are my
Like
vitamins. They're
visual
gummy
stuff.
like candy, and they taste like berries. I should have one. Get the jar open.
I don't take any supplements, I'm sorry.
I eat them because I eat garbage and I like candy, so fair balance.
I usually resist pudding, but today I'm having a strudel because it's barely pudding. It's fruits.
Exactly.
So I'm having a guilty strudel later. So hype for that.
I have in my freezer from my job a pumpkin pie that's about this big, and it's cream cake, which is a dense vanilla cake, swirled in a zigzag with raspberry jam with a shortbread crumble over top of it.
Oh my god, that sounds so good.
It's so sweet. I had to put it away, lest it destroy me. So, that's the dangers of working at a bakery.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, there is such a thing as too sweet, but it's hard to get there.
I think it got there. Yeah, I don't have much of a sweet tooth, so I have like a piece that's like this big, and I put the rest away.
I thought you said you were keen on candy.
I do. For my Halloween haul, I had 12 pieces this year, and I just finished my last one last night. So, yeah. Sometimes I really indulge.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have quite a lot of sin in my life. I'm quite naughty quite frequently, and so I was like, puddings. We
Yeah,
won't
you
quit
have
smoking.
a
but
line in the
it's
sand.
pudding. Exactly.
Yeah.
I consider chocolate its own food group.
I do make chocolates for people, so that's not the same. Not the same. I'm making a bet for
I
Christmas. That's going to be white chocolate green tea, dark chocolate rose, and probably a milk chocolate mocha cream. I'm still deciding on that. Yeah.
But I imagine if chocolate was part of my work, I'd have a different feeling about it.
Oh, it's not.
Okay.
That's separate. Sorry. I have a problem. Fine. That's the girls, huh?
It's all good.
Well, good. Yeah.
So.
Adventure.
Yes.
Into high school.
So yeah, we had figured out that we were going to not do a fashion show, but we were gonna help out at the homeless shelter, and we covered this.
Yeah. Not homeless shelter. It was. It actually just says shelter.
Oh damn!
So-
We were thinking animals though. We had a whole plan.
Oh
where,
yes,
like,
yes, you're right. Totally.
Instead of the petting zoo for the festival, you're gonna. And who says those won't cross at some point? Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I also joined the books club last time.
oh yeah, that was
You
Bianca's
s-
guilty pleasure. She wanted to.
you signed under a pseudonym, Joanna Smith, even though everyone saw you do it, and you have to show up there. That's fine. We'll work it out. It'd be like one of those things where like you just wear glasses. Yeah, and no one recognizes.
Who says that? Well, okay. I'll figure something out.
Okay. Also, maybe for those who are watching for the first time and didn't catch the character creation, you guys could go over your characters real quick. We went over it off screen, but on screen, it could be a thing that happened.
Yes. Good idea, especially since it's been a while, and my memory is.
I could go over your
It's like a
character.
steel sieve.
It's like a steel bear trap in a lake.
Well, I am Mitsuha Rainsberg. I'm a descendant of magical Japanese girl shrine. I'm a Hafu, half British, half Japanese, raised in Britain, but I'm still fluent in Japanese. I have a rival who is full Japanese and thinks they should be the inheritance to the shrine legacy. So there's some friction there. I'm good at history, bad at philosophy. My magical power is like a spirit summoner, and I can do spirit fusion as my special move. Well into that. And I have the kind of this sort of class president look. You got the sheer black fringe and the long black hair, the kind of classic Japanese anime head girl kind of vibe. I wear the blazer with the little bow, thick black tights because I'm classy.
Mm-hmm.
I have tattoos all over my fucking body.
Yeah, but above the sleeves and below the shirt. Or below the hair, actually, because it cuts down so dramatically. Yeah.
Seems legit.
Brad, would you like me to do your character?
No, I've got.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm playing Bianca Forbes. She's a recovering mean girl / evil genius. Her best subject is math. Her worst subject is PE. She's blonde with violet eyes, and she turned from her evil ways after her friend Kendall committed suicide after being humiliated. And Kendall, though dead, may still be around as a ghost. Mitsuha knows that I'm a closet nerd who likes math, but hopefully won't tell anybody because that would be embarrassing.
In any other situation, that would be oh, that's just a secret. That's not very important. But in high school, middle school, high school, in the school you're in,
yes,
in the school of classes you're in, it could ruin your life, your whole life.
Well, okay, yeah. Didn't we decide that we were 16-ish?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so high school.
Oh, yeah. You're in the mid-teens.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that we're Persona 5 aged, where
Yeah.
as an anime character is, where if you get the good ending, you can bang.
Yeah.
But it's been a year since then, so it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
I want to get the good ending so badly.
In an actual Persona 5 playthrough, or in this, you want
Both?
things to go well?
I've already got that twice.
Oh, okay.
Makoto first time, and then the Doctor second time. Takemi, I want to say her name is.
Yeah. Who's the
Just immediately yes, it's Takemi. I know. I picked her on my third playthrough.
Yeah. I can never remember her full name. The Shut-in. I'm doing this because she wears little glasses.
It's Futaba.
Yeah.
Whatever Sojiro.
I always want to say Futama, and I'm like, that's not right. It's so wrong. It's so... completely different from. No, it's just that it switches on its side. Its letters are hard. Yes, but Bianca, though, is a magical girl that everyone can trust and believe in.
Of course, for sure.
Uh,
Maybe because she and Mitsuha together. Nancy drew the assistant high master named
Trace.
And discovered his secret lecherous leanings.
Yes.
Or maybe it's because I admire Mitsuha's rebellious tendencies, even if our social groups are a bar to friendship.
Yes.
And let me see, my skills are deception, insight, and intimidation. And my super special like idiosyncratic skill is occult erudition. And then my
There's
cool,
another one. You have two flavors.
And honeyed words.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. And then my cool magical power is pink glitter transmogrification. I turn people into fluffy bunnies.
Yes.
Most of that.
To make them more adorable.
Yeah.
Chibi. Sometimes it's as simple as a pair of ears and a sneaky tail that they don't notice and walk off screen to everyone's hilarious delight. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a cuter version of themselves. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out.
And I guess that's about it. Like I have like a specific.
You don't have to name everything.
Okay. That's
okay.
probably
Just like
funny.
introducing yourself to folks. And you both go to a school which I wrote down the name of because we thought
because I didn't.
I believe it's St. Pigeons.
Is it?
No, not even
like, so you guys go to a magical girl themed, not a magical thing, a magical girl academy, who houses not only magical girls but also magical creatures. Sometimes animal folk, sometimes creatures like elves and trolls and wicked brownies and all sorts of. There's a Baba Yaga in the cafeteria because of classic placement. She may also be the same character drawn as the assistant principal. We're not sure. It's definitely like one of those, like, you see her in different roles around the school and you're like, aren't you? But nobody ever mentions it. Yeah. And the school is anywhere. You can step sideways from nearly any place to get there. And that means it's close to anywhere in the world. And there is no language barriers. And it was said that you're about 14-ish.
Oh, okay.
Years old, yeah. But you could be 14, 16, depending. We don't have to. Yeah.
Somewhere.
When you have a birthday, you'd be like, you just have the candle so that they can play it later in a different year, so people aren't stuck with the canon of what time it is. And there's a sort of a small town built around it, as is tradition, where you can get jobs and help in the neighborhood. And it's a sort of Hogwarts-esque School of Magic division, but they are doing something every year. They have a combined dorm to increase connectivity and working togetherness between the schools of magic. And how you get in is never really talked about. Like, sometimes it's because you have the best. They say it's because you have the best scores. Sometimes it's because, like, you're a trouble kid. Sometimes it's like you don't find out until season 4 that this person is, like, super powerful. but they just like look like a quiet nerd. It's one of those like every trope situations, and it they put you two as dorm mates, and I believe we talked about it being like a line down the center of the room, one half painted black, one half painted pink and fluffy, and yeah. So, but the thing is, glitter matches both because on one side it's the endless void of darkness, and on the other side it's just a pretty glitter. So,
Yes. Well, is my glitter allowed to like drift over the border? Or is that not cool?
Maybe we can find out in game through roleplay, Brad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out,
Okay.
so let's open with that. Why not? That's a nice, fun, soft open. I think you two have just finished signed up, and you had a couple of you had like a day of classes, and you're sort of Bianca is sort of finishing up, setting up your side of the room, and you have a case open. I looked over because I have a case, very similar to the one I'm about to describe, where it's just rows of bottles of different kinds of glitters and like small containers. Look, it's fine. It's a fine, normal thing for people to have. And you're sort of like thinking about what color would go good today, and Mitsuha walks in to see this, and I think you've had like a tiring day, but it's not bad, standard class initiations and all that.
Yeah, she probably like comes in and like sort of like kicks off her shoes and then just like blah, like sort of like flumps face down on the bed, and then like through the pillow is like, "Are you over,
I'm fine. Are you dead?"
She sort of like says something. No, I'm quite I'm well.
Undead.
No, just it's a little bit knackered.
Oh,
we
okay.
say in England. I'm knackered.
Well,
I suppose she like I guess I like throw off my like school blazer and like put on like a sort of leather jacket that's kind of like my little comfort item, and it's got like little stars on the shoulders, and quilting because I'm super gay for quilting at the moment. And I guess I sort of like I'm doing the thing where you're like there in a communal space pretending to read a book, but you're actually like engaging at your option. You're doing the thing where you can chip in with something, but then they feel a bit weird about chipping in because you're reading a book. So like, yeah, I'll be sort of reading and occasionally being like, no, you should use the purple one there, and just, like backseat glittering, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but the lavender or violet?
Oh, I don't fucking know, Bianca. Follow your heart.
Always.
Great.
I think as Bianca like taps some out on like a fluffy sheep that she has on the counter, that like a couple of times you think might have like moved. It's like in different places sometimes, and you're like, well, she wasn't here, and the window was open, and she like dabs, and it just like drifts, and then it, like drifts over and lands and coats like a pile of books on your desk.
That is the nature of glitter. It does get everywhere, but it's not on purpose.
It's true. I guess she sort of like looks at the books, looks back at the books she's reading, like sighs, looks over at her shoes on the floor, and then like just sort of doesn't say anything, I guess.
Yeah, and Bianca's happy to ignore that too. I mean,
yeah, because according to glitter, like there's glitter on it. You don't know. Maybe you don't know about that like single small breeze that just wafted over.
I guess like it's sort of like, well, when you live with a cat, you just accept that there's cat hair everywhere. So I guess everything I own will be glittery. So that's nice. I like the gold. The gold's my favorite. I think it's tasteful.
The cat like jumps off of a bookshelf and like bounds out the bed, but it's also already covered in glitter and just like goes out the window. But you're on the 3rd floor.
Well, if you want, you're welcome to borrow some. I think it might help.
I may just take you up on that. I was going to have like a bath or something. I'm a bit drained. I've had a draining day. I want to do something. What should we do?
Well, we could go shopping.
Okay, sure. Can we get like milkshakes or something?
Sure.
So you guys take some time to clean yourself up, change outfits, to the animator's chagrin, and head into town in your casual outfits.
Yeah, definitely in quotes.
Yeah, a milkshake shop called the Shakery, and it is a tree themed milkshake shop. It like you can get a milkshake and order a bonsai tree to like trim at the same. Yeah. It's like a cat cafe except for tiny trees. Yeah.
So as soon as I see it, I guess I kind of like sort of gently like slap Bianca on the shoulder. I'm like, why didn't you tell me this existed? Oh my god, we're coming here every day, Bianca. Every day. Well, maybe not every day, but we're coming here most days, Bianca. 3 times a week minimum. Oh my god. Let's go.
Okay, it's all right.
The little bonsai trees, they're adorable. They're tiny and proud and
Okay, they're kind of cute, but I mean...
And then we'll get shoes afterwards. I need new boots. Well, is shoes? Do you need shoes?
Like always.
Okay, well, yes, we'll get a milkshake, then we'll get some shoes, and then, it'll be great.
Well, that sounds good.
What kind of milkshakes do you guys get?
Vanilla.
And I think mine is sort of like this, as like marshmallows and strawberry ice cream, and sprinkles on top. I mean, not really supposed to have sprinkles on a milkshake, but they're colorful. I like them.
You grew up in a very stifled situation. You can't have sprinkles on a milkshake?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think they also put glitter on it too. Or maybe glitter got on it from your clothes. By the time it gets to you, it has glitter on it.
That's fine. Glitter is edible.
And since it is a
like
magical town, the bonsai trees grow miniature versions of the fruit or vegetables, if you should choose that. So what kinds of trees do you take care of? Don't worry, this will come into play later. This is all information gathering.
Oh, okay. This is important.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Some its words.
It's as important as you want it to be.
Yeah.
I'm definitely thinking I would get one from the vegetable end of the spectrum.
Mhm.
Is there like a mixed vegetable one, like a hearty, wintry vegetable kind of thing, or?
Yeah, there's a tiny garden patch you can get where you can like pull out little carrots and plant little seeds, and by the time you're done with your milkshake, they'll have grown into little vegetables.
Brilliant. That one.
And I think at the risk of clashing, I'll get a persimmon tree.
Okay.
They're nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're going to get shoes.
Yes.
Okay, so you spend the next couple of hours getting shoes, doing various shopping things. I think it's a very small town, so there are little shops. There's not a mall. But
so yeah, and I will be paying particular attention, like looking out to make sure if like my old friends should show up, because I mean we're shopping, so there's
sure.
that
Yeah.
I see them before they see me.
All
I
right.
do my best to make sure that's the case.
Since you have something you're looking out for specifically, why don't you give me a perception check?
All right.
We'll see how that goes for
you. Perception.
13. Oh, wait. Is it one of your specials? No, it's not your special skills. It's just regular. Okay. Yeah, 13. Not bad. You don't. I mean, you see, like, they're going into the frozen yogurt shop, but you duck away soon enough so you don't see them. You notice that the ducking away takes you just past your work at the tattoo shop.
So I guess I see Bianca like trying to avoid this, and she does the thing again where something's bothering her, but she doesn't say. And she sort of sighs, and then looks down at her shoes. Then she's like, "Bianca, we're going to. Do you like Sean Paul?"
And I just and after like that initial ducking away, I like move a few feet away and then like stand back up. And it's not that I'm hiding from them, but all of a sudden when you ask that question, when I like turn to look, but it's like right through you, and I just kind of walk off, not in a hurry, but as if I didn't hear the question.
So then I guess Mitsu kind of sighs and is like, "Yes, we'll have to listen to Sean Paul later. That'll make her understand. It'll be fun.
That'll clear up everything."
Yeah, and then I like hurriedly follow along, and I guess I just sort of like try and slip in beside her and just try and hopefully brush it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you guys, let's see. What is the seed of fantastic?
Well, not right now. We'll meet up later.
Yeah. So you finish the shopping. The fun of it is it's still kind of there, but you're almost done. So you head back to the school and you put away your things and you realize that you have initiation at the shelter today, and then later on this night you have your first books club. So it's gonna be a busy day for you. And you were told to. Actually the building, it just says shelter, and then there's like animal noises that come from inside, and people adopt pets and stuff from there. But they also like there's a soup kitchen. Like it's very like big block letters, shelter. And you're not quite sure what to prepare for because you're not sure what job or situation you'll have today. But you were told to dress for work, like dress for like, maybe getting dirty, like make sure you're not wearing anything too fancy.
Oh no.
So basically you're told to dress down.
I guess Mitsu kind of like she's got like a pair of like big Wellington boots out, and she's like sort of she's trying to fight. She's got like a boiler suit. She's got for like that kind of stuff. And then as she's just got the wellies looking at her, she remembers the thought she had earlier, and then she like puts the welly boots on, like gets her like MP3 replayer, and she sort of puts her hands on her hips, like, and she gets like this sort of stern, demanding look, and she looks over. She's like, right, it's time that you learned an important lesson about life, okay? I'm going to introduce you to my good friend, Sean Paul. And then she like blams play on like Like Glue by Sean Paul, and like if you don't know, the like chorus of the song is about like, it doesn't really matter people say, and it's about like like not caring about the haters. And she imagines that she sort of like looks quite silly in her like pants and wellies, like getting a jive on, and she's sort of like singing along, and she's trying to sort of indirectly say to her friend, like, doesn't really matter people say.
So as the camera scans over to Bianca, what is Bianca wearing?
So yeah, I guess she would have just like brought an extra pair of clothes, and
like you have a full wardrobe to choose from. You're in school. You're in boarding school, so. Yeah. It's not a Doug Funny situation where you open your closet and it's all the same thing. I mean, it could be, but.
And yeah, I guess her version of dressed down is it's just like it's not dressed down, but it's clothes that she's worn a couple of times before.
It's still as fashionable.
I mean, the nice thing about wearing these for this kind of work is if a mess gets on them, there'll be every excuse to get rid of them, right?
So what does this look like? Describe your outfit for me.
So, I think like a pink sweater that's cut kind of uselessly, like it shows like a bit of midriff, like so it like totally defeats the purpose of being a sweater.
Is it one of those like where it's a sweater, but if you look at it sideways, it cuts like at a sharp angle down, so the back of it goes past your butt, but the top is like cut at the belly?
Sure.
It's like one of those asymmetrical shirts. A fine shirt to have if you have a cold tail. Abs.
And I guess she's also wearing sort of a like a frilly skirt that has that's like it doesn't go out like crazy far or anything, but it does have like sort of the appearance of a second layer underneath the main skirt. That's like sort of a little bit lacy. And then her shoes are like the more are like only a 2-inch heel rather than like a 3-inch heel. Yes.
Sure. Which is basically flats for you.
Yeah. And there's there's glitter, like sort of sewn into the sweater.
Jewelry. Bodice to match.
Sure. So
or your standard bracelets, necklace, earrings.
Yeah, I think like
shiny are you?
Like a lot of bracelets, and then just one necklace that has like it's just kind of like it's actually just kind of tasteful. It's like the color of the stone subtly matches the sweater, and the
It's a tasteful necklace. Like
yeah,
that's you can say that.
okay.
Yeah, you don't have to. Because I know sometimes fashion for folks is a little hard to come up with a full outfit.
Yeah.
Almost
Well,
like,
I'm sure that
that's
anybody who's like skilled in fashion would be horrified by my description, but
oh no, it's fine. I'm sure. No, it's fine. I just started thinking about how tulle catches on cashmere and how if it's fancy, and I was like, nope, don't do that. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, so
Can I just check? Do you like when I'm doing my silly like Sean Paul dance, trying to maybe like cheer you up or something? Do you like get into it? Do you just like stare at me being an idiot and be, I mean, do you? What's your response to that?
I think I just kind of mutter under my breath, if only it worked that way. I know.
Oh, my little heart. And
but
then I guess
once we've gotten, I'm sorry. Once we've gotten
my outfit for your things.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Once we've gotten like a few blocks away from the mall, or it's only after we've gotten a few blocks away from the mall. Do I like?
Oh, specifically not a mall, a small shops.
Shop.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do I like?
From downtown.
Yeah. Do I slow down? Like, up until then, I've been like hard to keep up with, like, and not talking but not being, but
So
all
this is a
incredibly
flashback.
rude, but not nearly. But you can see that I'm like trying really hard to hold my tongue and not say something horrible.
So that's on the way to
Yes,
school.
that's on the way there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep
By the time we get there, I slow down and walking with you, and I'm like kind of chill.
So okay. So
Okay.
yeah.
And then my outfit's like a black boiler suit, but with how would she do this? Yeah, but it's been kind of like I've kind of like adjusted it to be more like a play suit, so like the sleeves are short and the legs are short, and then I'm wearing like thick black leggings, even thicker than my normal thick black tights and leggings, and then like just some black Wellington boots, but like slightly gothy ones. So I don't know, maybe they got studs.
Studs on the shoe. Yeah, it's like studs on the toe. Yeah.
And then it's probably like if I guess the boiler suit's got like stuff on the back, like patches and stuff, like sort of punk jackets would be like. And yeah, so it is utilitarian, but still a bit. But still a bit gothy.
You say baller suit, boiler suit?
Boiler suit, yes. Sorry.
Boiler suit. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so I was thinking, I wrote down boiler suit first, then it sounded like you were saying baller suit, and I was like, well, that sounds like a very fashionable boiler suit.
Well, and I guess I have like some thick black gloves with me as well, like some sort of gardening gloves with like leather patches on rather than like warming gloves.
Yeah. I just assumed that it's a suit that only a total baller would wear.
Yeah. Which is like the fashion version of a boiler suit. It's got extra patches that somebody else sewed on. It's got worn marks that somebody else made, and it's got crystals on it for some reason. That'd be a boiler suit. Yes.
So, is it possible to just like have a purse that's sort of a purse of holding? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to have like anything useful, but just the ability to hold
I think
more
you have anime
changes of
powers.
clothes.
You don't have D&D powers. You have anime powers. If you need to pull out like a large hammer from behind you, you can do that. As long as it fits your character and the feeling of that cartoonish, like you turn around and you have this thing, then that's fine. You don't have like an inventory, really, because it's less D&D, more anime. But if you think you would have a thing, then you can have that thing. If you want a magical bag, we'll have to talk I'm not sure. I think you have a bag, you have a purse, but I think it's like you can pull out stuff of reasonable size, or you can do the anime turn around and suddenly have a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I don't want like any special like. Uh,
Like as long as
I
it's
don't want
genre
to be able to.
appropriate,
Yeah.
as long as you could say like this would happen in an anime, you can do it. Like that's the point of these games. The very
Okay.
limited rule structure is if we all agree that it's cool and that it happens, that's fine. Uh, then that works. That's it. That's the end of the rules.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure whether it'd be better to not have an extra pair of clothes other than the clothes that we wore to
I
the
mean,
shop.
you're a fashionista. That makes sense for you to have like a small rolled up tube that you can like that's air sucked out. I mean, but we can work out that later. Like if the need should arise for you to have something, we can decide then.
I mean, I imagine that sometimes I do like a big sneeze and and then when I'm done with the sneeze, you're just like in a different outfit. You know, I think it's gotten to like that point. Where
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That happened again.
Yeah. Like if if it's fun, then we can do it. You don't really need to plan too much. I know you like
Sure.
planning. I've played a game with you a couple of times. It's got a lot of planning in it. It's pretty fun, but kind of the opposite of the amount of planning I do. Some folks may know I did not have a lot of time before this game started. Yeah. So if you think you would have this thing, have the thing.
Okay. Well,
As long as it's not too crazy.
Let's totally just see how it goes. Like,
Yeah.
It may be more interesting to not have that thing.
Sure. We'll see what happens. Play to find out. All right. And you guys are dressed and primed and ready to go to the shelter. Whenever I see this like brown brick building with like a little fence outside and like school metal doors that go in with the metal handles. I'm saying school metal, even though that's probably not what some of you are used to. And it's got like a bunch of windows about like it says like weird generic things like adoption. It's good for everyone. And it's got like a smiling face with a thumbs up and then like an animal, but the animal's been like postered over with like another thing that says helping your community and then like volunteer opportunities. Like it's all super non-specific and easily translatable into other languages. So you gather up and it is there is another girl with you. She has like crinkly red hair and she's got like the small glasses and like just freckles head to toe. Kind of like I try to think of a kind of coffee that her skin would be, and I'm like, is it like a latte or is it like a cappuccino or perhaps a chai? She's got tan skin. And she is there to be part of your 3-person volunteer team. And let's see, her name would be Clarabelle. And she is a druidic studies major. And frizzy red hair. Freckles. And
spelled like that?
Clarabelle.
Ah, yes, that makes sense.
Clarabelle. And I think you've had like she's also in your mixed dorm, but you haven't seen her. She of course volunteered for the garden but she also volunteered for this because there weren't many slots left on the petting zoo list. It was kind of like a, if you didn't get it there quick. Yeah, so she's sort of standing there waiting, and she's in like a rolled up tan sweater with like suspenders over top of it and little shorts, but with leggings and work boots. Because that's what I would wear. Because I want. Where's the sweater?
So I guess seeing her there, I'd like take off one of my gloves and like just put it under in like my armpit, and then sort of extend a hand and be like, "Oh, hi there. I don't believe we've I've seen you around, but I don't think we've met. My name's Mitsuha. Pleasure to meet you."
Hi, I'm how to slip into a southern accent. Hi, I'm Clarabelle. It's an honor to meet you. It's gonna be exciting, isn't it? My first choice, but you know, you gotta settle what you got so you can change what you have. And
an excellent idiom.
Yeah, I'm just chock full of them. They may change from day to day, but you know, they're still as meaningful as the first time I said them. And she looks over at Bianca and she's like, "And I believe you aren't Bianca Forbes. I think I've heard a lot about you. We used to have friends in common, but that was a long time ago. Pleasure to re-meet you."
Yes, it's
And she holds out her hand to shake yours.
and I shake it, but there's like this slight hesitation that's like a little bit awkward, but then
It's like when somebody says, "Oh yeah, we met at that thing," and you're like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
I think I've seen you around.
Yeah. Oh gosh, this is gonna be fun, isn't it? I wonder what kind of stuff we'll be helping the community with today. And I am just excited.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be kittens.
Well, hopefully, I got a bit of an allergy, but luckily here it doesn't matter. You got all sorts of advanced medications that can really help you out when you got the sneezes.
I wasn't gonna.
Sorry, it's been a while since I did that country voice. Or
It's
the
good though.
weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this isn't directly related, but and I wasn't going to say anything, but I do know of some products that would help with. Yes, things.
What? I like what kittens? You got kitten products like toys and whatnot?
No. More like.
And at that point, like a curl just like springs out of the little buns in the back of her head as she like kind of tilts her head, just boing.
But styling products and
Oh yeah, you got kind of nice style. I think yeah, the whole
and
little
concealer.
sweater skirt thing. It's kind of similar to mine. We're both wearing sweaters, and that's sweet. And then she's
Okay.
she's like, you know, we don't want to keep our people waiting. I think it's just about time to go inside.
Yes,
you know,
yes, definitely.
I hope I'm dressed right. They were really vague on the application forms. But anyways, I think we're gonna be great friends. She kind of like hooks her arm around both ears. She's like, "Oh, isn't this just a?"
Yeah, I like don't resist. I like lean into it and I sort of like look up and I'm like, well, you know, I always feel ready for anything. I've got a good pair of boots on, so let's see what the day has in store for us.
And she like looks at your boots and looks at her boots and then looks at the heels. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, and Bianca, it doesn't pull away or anything, but she does look a little bit sickly. Like, okay, what have I signed up for?
Yeah, and the fact that like you don't know what status she's in because you don't really know her from school.
I know.
And she's nicely dressed, but not like. She's the. You don't know, man. You don't know. She's a mystery. She's a big question mark.
No, I've made judgments. I just haven't expressed them.
Oh yeah. So you head inside, and the room itself is pretty open, and there's like waiting chairs, and there's like pamphlets with like different animal and people pictures on them, and like there's a sad kid and like a sad puppy, and then a happy kid with that same puppy. And then that puppy being old, like about like taking care of your older pets and adoption helps younglings and all that fun stuff. And there is a woman behind the counter who has a sharp bun pulled back and like cat eye glasses, and she's kind of like rounded with a little sweater, and she got like the eyeglass chain, and immediately I have to write that down. Cat eye glasses, and she's like, well, all right, you must be the new students. Is it gonna help me out for the shelter today? That's fantastic. Yeah, okay. And she like shuffles some paper, and like you see her do the motion of getting off a chair, but she's not taller or shorter than she was sitting down. And she sort of like waddles around the desk, and she's got like a pencil skirt, but since she's kind of round, it just sort of like goes like this. And she's like, well, if you'll follow me, you'll be before this happens, I need you to sign these release forms for liability issues. Standard procedure, honestly. You should have done it already, but the paperwork got mixed up.
Okay, so no girls have perished while volunteering here, have they? Or
What a silly suggestion. Anyways, I have some pens. If you'll come over here, there's some tables you can sign on.
Okay, sure, I'm happy to. Just to be clear that, 0 other girls have been eaten or...
Yeah, so once you have those, I'll be behind the desk.
I guess that's a no. That
And refreshments will be provided in your lunch break.
Okay,
well,
great. Well, yeah.
I'm sure we won't be eaten.
After interaction, I don't even bother reading it. I just sort of like sign it off, and then sigh, look at my shoes. Sign.
This is school, I guess.
I'll read it.
Yeah. It's like the Willy Wonka contract, like the font starts at like 16 and then goes to like 0.5 at the bottom. But it's all on one side, and you turn it over and it's got like a place for your signature. And do you like to make a intelligence check to see if there's anything to like scan this paper over?
Yeah.
Okay. To see if there are any dangers untold or hardships
Cryptic
unknown
riders.
you're gonna have to. Yeah. Like if you hurt one of the animals, then you'd have to be in the animal cage. I don't know. If one of them escapes, like there's a soul count in the building.
And is this all? Is the contract like all? At least the part that I can read, all mundane, or?
Well, that's what the intelligence check is going to tell you.
Oh well, okay. The reason I asked
legal for arcane
is could occult erudition perhaps play into this, or is that too big of a stretch?
No, I think it's all legalese. I think it's standard jargon.
Yeah. A different language.
But like with anything, contracts here are important because there's a whole school that deals with contracts. So you think it might be like one of the standard like drawn up by them for the. It's like when people in the community go to the art college to get graphic work done. It's kind of that thing. Like they freelance the people. Sorry, there's a mosquito in my window, and I'm like distracted. I'm not a cat. I'm a human.
Okay, here we go. Huh. Okay.
Yeah. There's nothing you can read, and there's like there's a little like you just ask, and that you can like pull out a little magnifying glass that you normally use to like affix beads if they've fallen off, and like you kind of like scan down it. It's nothing too outrageous. It's standard, like we're not responsible for loss or limb. Your family will be alerted. It's kind of like the one the school has, except the school will be taking care of you.
Yeah, I'll scratch out the part about selling my soul.
There's no part about selling your soul.
Okay.
There are other opportunities for that. Yeah, it's pretty standard. Yeah, there's something that jumps out at you. Yeah, Clarabelle sounds
okay.
like, well, the word's got a little small, Dan, but I trust our school to always look out for us.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily do that, but I don't see anything egregious.
Bianca, if I get eaten, make sure you burn my diary, okay?
Oh gosh, yeah, me too.
Oh.
And they both like nodding at you.
Do you need anything destroyed if you get eaten?
Like an embarrassing mixtapes from your former loves.
No, I stand by my mixtapes.
Writing that on your sheet.
So when Bianca says that,
and,
I turn to Clarabelle. I'm like, that's why I like her.
Yeah.
And I did make I think that the my diary should be okay. I did make a deal where it's supposed to self-destruct if it's well, I won't say it what, but
Gosh, that seems real handy.
yeah,
Yeah, I just
you
want
can never
somebody
be
to blast
sure.
my
It wasn't,
cash.
it wasn't my enchantment, but it's probably right. It should be fine.
Yeah. Learn to trust in your common folk. That's what I say.
I guess if I'm dead, it doesn't matter if,
Hopefully.
some old burns come out.
I mean, there is a necromancy school, but I'm pretty sure they don't get our corpses unless we graduate first. It's sort of like an alumni signing program. I'm excited either way.
Yeah. And yeah, when you mentioned the necromancer school, Bianca like opens her mouth to say something to like, because her first thought is to say something mean to Mitsuha regarding how come you're not, but then she stops herself.
Yeah. I think like at that time, like a death's head moth like floats by and lands on the pamphlets and just like lands there, so you see like a skull in the background.
Well, that's
probably
reassuring.
landing on the pamphlet for the old dog. Because tropes. So you both sign, and Clarabelle signs.
Yeah.
And you hand in your papers. And the woman behind the counter says, "Well, I'm Mrs. Foamiha, and I'll be your, I guess, liaison for the shelter today, and probably most days. I don't leave very much. So your job today will be mixing and feeding the animals that live and work here. It's a burden and a responsibility that we take very seriously."
I'm sorry, it'll be what again?
Mixing and feeding the animals that work and live here. Food.
What do you mean
Wait,
by mixing?
food for the animals. Mixing their lunches and dinners.
So we don't get to like
Mix the animals. No, you don't mix the animals. That was a misspoke on my part. That will be your first task here at the shelter. It's very exciting, I know.
So
She sort of like
after
starts toddling
okay,
off.
yeah, I'll follow. So after they're fed, do we hang out with them for a while and make sure that they're like used to humans and
Some of them, yes. Others of our community are very dangerous after feeding. You will have to exercise caution. I will be here
Okay.
to oversee the initial feeding. But I have a lot to do. Maurice called in today again.
Well,
Who's that?
we're quite capable, so I'm sure we'll do just fine.
Excellent. I have full confidence in your abilities as students of the school.
Your confidence is palpable.
Yes. Some people say I get overexcited. I'm trying to remain as calm as possible for your initiation. Please excuse my outburst earlier. I think back to like.
What?
So she leads you down a few hallways, and you pass a room that's got like. It's got a sign on the door. It's like, cats are freed, do not enter. And it's just got like a bunch of doors open and then like a single sleeping cat in the middle. But like scratch marks and gouges on the walls and like bent wire framing. And then like it's one of those things like as you go by, you stop for a second and like the eye opens up and there's that like ching, like the anime sparkle on its eye. And then you keep walking. And Afumiha
It's so cute.
leads you to a sort of like a stainless steel kitchen with like 2 rows of counters and like sinks and fridges and cupboards, but also there's like racks with weirdly colored bottles. Like it's magic alchemy, but also like food safe grade kitchenware. And so you will be mixing potions and meals for our guests. Here is the book that has all of the recipes in it. Should something call me away? And she like drops this giant leather-bound tome that's like worn on the edges and yellowed pages that probably used to have gold at one point, but it's like mostly worn off of one side, like on the edges of the pages. And she's like, please try to stick to the recipes. And,
Are there like a bunch of bookmarks in it, or
no?
But maybe I could make some bookmarks for the
Please do not alter the manual. If you would like to take notes on your own, you are free to.
Well, just so that we.
All recipes are proprietary knowledge of the shelter.
I wasn't going to sell them or anything.
Good.
Just wanted to make sure that we made the new which recipes in there to use, and
I will be here to help you.
Okay.
Today.
But should you be called away?
You're clever, girls. We have a list of animals. All you need to do is cross-reference them.
Okay.
And, yeah, and so she's like, today we'll be starting with the griffin food. Do you know what a griffin does?
They're like part eagle, part lion, and but they're different from the hippogriff, which is more
She's like nodding.
horse. But you said what they do?
Yes.
I'm not sure what you mean by what they do.
They hunt and rend and tear the flesh of travelers.
Oh.
You must always be alert. And for this reason, we will start with a meat-based dish. So she basically walks you through setting up, like, getting hunks of meat over and, like, pouring certain colored potions in to, like, subdue the animals and make them less feral, and sort of enhance the flavors of the meat, sort of, like, mixing it up in the right way, making sure it's all chopped right. There are some, like, particular greens that she also puts in that helps with regulation, she says in her nasally voice. But she shows you how to mix up basically a generic carnivore subduing meal. And I want you both to give me some rolls as to see how well you learn how to do this.
What would you like me to roll? Just D20? Or...
Let's see. I think for learning it would be intelligence, but it also could be medicine. But if it's just a D20, then it doesn't really matter. So I think you just give me a roll, unless there's something you could see that would help in this situation better. Yeah. Tattooist, can you tattoo the meat with medicine? And that'd be interesting.
No, I was thinking, I always think about how to, like, fuse our powers together. So, like, my first thought was, like, okay, so I'll summon a spirit of griffins to be like, is this the good stuff or is that the good stuff? And then we'll cross-reference that with the druidic knowledge, and then because the first bite is taken with the eyes, then Bianca will glitterify the meal to make it,
Yeah, just spot on. Excellent.
Yeah. So that would be how. But here is my.
Well, I could make the.
I rolled a 4.
Oh no!
Disastrous. Abort the plan.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
we're
That's
right on
good.
top
That's
of
a
this.
good roll. Let me roll for Clarabelle. Perfect. Good. You're good. We're all good. It's great. This is.
And I think I do pay attention for the
There's
for, like,
something
the
about
potion component part.
Umiha's voice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I'm like not really keen about, like, actually touching raw meat. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's gooey.
that's
You have no gloves.
not in my comfort zone.
Yeah, and I think Clarabelle is the, like, closest to get in, but I think she's just like you keep looking over and she's, like, picking up other things, and she's like, "What? Well, this is used for this and this," and she's, like, just amazed, like a little starstruck at the meals. So I'm gonna write 4, 6, and 8 for the for that, and we're gonna try to learn another one, and and so bad. So Fumi has she takes the meal out and she, like, wraps it up, and, like, it's like a big tub of meats, and she puts it in the fridge. She's like, "Now, what is your favorite animal at the shelter?" Anyone can answer. Also, the
Cats?
mosquito.
Cats are good. I like bunnies too.
Ah, yes, cats and bunnies, some of the most vicious pets you can own.
Well, I think that I mean I'm sure that there are times when vicious animals need to be taken care of, but as pets, isn't it better to have uh, animals that that get along well with their people?
Yes. And what an idealized version of this reality. She's like, why don't we bring up the bunny feed? And then she starts talking to you about there's a machine that like you put a bunch of like herbs and plants in, and then you like compact it into like these little discs. And she talks about how they have to have like a certain number of leafy greens and a certain number of this thing, and like they can do little strawberries. And what she ends up doing is she gets like a pile of leaves with like a layer of like a hamburger, except it's different colors of greens that have been layered. So why don't you give me another d20 to see if how well you learn how to make the vegetarian bunny disc. Oh, Mitsuha, you got it perfect.
Oh.
No, that's not perfect.
No, not so much. It's about the same.
It's a little different. I will have to say it's a little bit, but if you turn it on its side, it kind of looks like a 20.
Sure.
Right? Oh no, yeah. I think once again, it's the number of plants is it's overwhelming. She's like, I thought this species expired itself out with extinction. No hand to humans at all, just on its own, without any help from us.
Don't you just have like prepackaged rabbit food? I mean, that's.
We don't have the facilities to store prepackaged meals. We are not as rich and wealthy as your school system.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
that's horrible.
And you know, if they did it like that, we wouldn't get this great opportunity to learn.
Yes. We are part of a... What's that word? Adjunct? No. Satellite learning system.
Or cooperative
set up
education,
with the
yeah.
school. Yeah. All right. So, fucking that's 20. Congratulations.
Got that one down.
Yeah. The last meal I will be teaching you, because the rule of 3 applies, is a water sprite meal. They like it in different ways, so we'll be making different versions. We have to be careful not to use actual water, or else they'll feel insulted, like they're cannibals. So this is like basically all potion mixing, and there's like a seawater one and like a lake one, and then like a raindrop like dish. Because of the transubstantiation nature of water spirits, they need a variety in their diet. We make all 3 because we never know which one they're gonna eat. And please give me some rolls if you would be so very kind.
Can I, as this is like my jam, can I like roll with advantage? Can I get any kind of,
As cooking?
As a spirit person?
Oh yeah. As a spirit thing,
Like
yeah,
that?
you can get advantage for that. That makes sense. Water spirits, regular spirit, yeah.
Yeah, and actually, this sounds like maybe it's more more specifically occult than the others, such that it.
Yeah,
That
yeah, you could argue for that.
Okay.
Yeah, you both have that spirit link, and you've probably read something on it, so you could have advantage. Shit, another nat 20.
Wow. Oh.
Oh,
Feeling
still
slightly
an
less
8
bad
with
about that.
advantage. Hey, Brett, could you switch your name to your character person?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I'll drop in a quick character sheet for Clarabelle because I just love her already.
I'm adding her to my list of magical girls that I want to tattoo when I become a fully fledged tattooist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play Connect the Dot with her freckles.
Yeah. There's I guess
no,
as a druidic nature, the constellations would fall into that. So I didn't even think about that. So yeah, all right. Excellent. Magical tattoos. I gotta stay focused. Playing magical games. Yeah. So, she has Fumiha, like says, now that you've learned the basics, we will proceed into mass production. And this is where you guys make a serving on your own. And nope, dang it. Accidentally clicked opening a digital audio workstation on my hot bar. Will be a second. We'll be fine. I'll just close it once it updates and loads. So as you freaking stop it, get out of here.
But it must update.
It's like buy this key. We're not gonna let you close this window for 5 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah. So what they do is she has you sort of like steps back and has you try to make one of these 3 meals on your own. So why don't you roll a d20 to see who gets to pick first? Or if you both agree to pick something different. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think Meets is willing to just like pick last. She's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as it's not the meat one.
So
That one's lucky.
The NPC will go first then. She picks the bunny discs with the plants because of her druidic nature.
Okay.
So there's the so you don't want the meat one. So Bianca.
Yeah, I want the cute sprites.
Has the water sprites, and that leaves appropriately enough the carnivore meal with the goth girl.
Well, that's the one that I fucked up, so I want the chance to like redeem myself on that one.
Yeah.
Although, what is her name again? I should have.
Fumiha?
Clarabelle.
Oh, not Clarabelle. The person who runs the shelter.
Yeah, it's Fumiha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so did she correct us when we screwed this up, or is she
yeah, no, she did, but you
okay.
still messed it up. Like it's like the roll will stand.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's like, yeah. Hold on. I feel like I have to sneeze. Yeah. So it is now up to you to make these meals for these animals. Brett, you should go first because you're on my Skype window as in the front.
That's first. Okay.
Yeah.
So would this once again fall under occult erudition? Is that cool, or is for the actual preparation different than?
I think the actual preparation is different.
Okay.
If there's something you want to try to weasel into it, you can. I say that with the most positive attitude. I'm a fan of weasels. They're all wiggly. They're like
cute too.
Slinkies with soft fur and little bear faces.
Well, okay, sure. So I think what I'll and this is pretty Weasley.
And
they
also,
even like
you
Ron
have
Weasley.
Disadvantage because you failed to learn the recipe.
Okay. I think as I go, I'll keep like looking over at Fumiha Fumiha
Yeah.
to like try and gauge by her like reactions or micro reactions whether or not I'm doing
Okay.
it right. To
Okay. So this will be an insight roll, but still with disadvantage.
okay,
So that'll determine your success. That's how you are creating this dish.
okay. Uh,
As you're trying to read her body language for any like you're like about to put something in, you're like, reach slowly and see. Yeah.
Okay. So well, at least I'm consistent.
Just made it. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I do have insight, but it's at disadvantage. So I don't know if that like evens it out.
It would even out to 10.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So you.
So there's a bunch of times where I'm like, and one more. Oh no. Not
And
one
she's
more.
like,
okay.
like you don't see her move at all, but you kind of like just get this presence of aura. Like it's the same still shot whenever you scan over to her, like just watching you. Yeah. And
So
and you,
I am curious whether when I'm like starting to do something wrong, is she like
there's
annoyed
no
or
reaction.
well, okay.
There's nothing.
Well, okay, but I am like just barely picking up something from her
Yeah,
aura,
it's like
right?
the
So
music changes, but the picture remains the same
yeah,
in the anime. Like you're just getting that like your instinct reading of her is so good because you're trained at it. You like
or just barely good enough.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so I guess what I'm curious about is whether or not it's just like concealed disapproval when I do something when I'm about to do something wrong, or whether it's
It's just an
or
aura
if
that
it's
you get.
concealed glee.
You
that
did not get anything close enough to a high roll to make a specific destination.
Okay.
You got 10, which is the base success. If you had gotten much higher, you could maybe get like an eyebrow quirk or get an emotional response. But as you have gotten just 10, you only know enough to succeed at this challenge.
Okay. Just hot or colder.
Yeah, it's just the music changes slightly, or like there's a dramatic skew on the image. But yeah, it unfortunately the dice are not with you today.
No, they're really not. Well, actually, there were some early rolls that went okay.
Yeah,
but
like socializing rolls, you're good with.
Yeah.
Itsuha, please explain to me how you succeed at this challenge.
Sure. So my weasel strat is I would like to summon the spirit of the recipe book itself to guide me, which I'm hoping would
you
then...
know that things that are over 100 years old have a spirit within them.
Okay, I didn't until you said that.
Japanese culture.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a thing, you know.
Yeah, that is a thing with like the brooms and stuff.
Yeah. Anything over 100 years.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd like to summon the spirit of the book, which will hopefully then which would give me advantage, but then because I'm at disadvantage, it'll just be a flat roll.
Straight. It'd be
Cool.
the first
Okay,
roll.
We're just doing it.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, there's an error. Oh no! Fuck. It's okay. We are equipped to fail.
Yeah, we fail forward.
Good.
So,
I more just meant emotionally, but yes, also that.
in emotions we fail forward. It says and it's just failing. So I think you get 2 of the dishes right, but you forgot the rule about not using water. So they look fine, but there's there's actual H2O in one of the
Oh well, I was the griffin, but
Oh right, sorry. Yeah, you weren't the water. So yeah, no, it looks fine. It's a big pile of meat. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's fine. You definitely. And then like you're like, yeah, here it is. And then like it pans over to like a Sleepy Z potion that's just on the like in a pile that you just didn't like all the ingredients that you used that you forgot to put in.
Yeah, it's close. The meal's gonna be plenty tasty,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Like it smells the same.
Yeah.
they go and get rowdy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the book didn't help you because it was written before, like it was written back in the day when people just fought griffins. If they got rowdy, they put them down by force. So it's a bit old fashioned in its views. Yeah, and Clarabelle is going to use her druidic nature, her plant expertise, to negate her disadvantage.
Oh.
Yeah, so what she comes up with is it's like a Caesar salad. She's like, well, I just thought, those little bunny rabbits might want something more tasty. And Fumiha like looks at it, and like Clarabelle's standing there, and she just like raises her hand like to pat her on the shoulder and just knocks it across the room. This big bowl of salad like crashes against the far wall. And she's like, this is unacceptable. Variating from the recipe book can cause catastrophic disasters. I don't know if you have what it takes to be a shelter volunteer.
Well, at least you handled the problem in a professional manner.
Yeah.
That's honeyed words.
Yeah, roll a honeyed words
All right.
as you are trying to diffuse the situation. And Clarabelle's like her eyes just well up almost immediately with tears, and like her lip pouts out, and she like quivers a bit, and she's just like standing there like.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely. And she's like,
social.
yes, you're right. I should have been more professional. I apologize. I need to take a breather. Please try this recipe again. And Clarabelle's like, but we don't have enough greens. She's like, again. And then she just, Fumiha walks out. And Clarabelle like looks at you and is like, I don't know what to do. I used up most of the I used up most of the greens and the recipe. And that's it. I brought my own Caesar salad because I was gonna have it for my own lunch, and I don't have anything.
Breathe, darling, sweetie, breathe. Come on with me now. There we are. Okay.
And she's like, oh, not quite.
You've got friends here. We'll help you. It's okay. Look, I've got this helpful book spirit.
Yeah, and the spirit is just like I think a book spirit would just be like flipping through itself, going like, this is wrong, and like trying to like wipe stuff out and be like, God, I need a pen. Can't believe they made this change. It's totally contradictory. Yeah.
It's got like grumpy eyebrows like floating above. Mm-hmm.
It's and a big mustache for some reason. Yeah. And all of the like the gold is like flaking off a little bit, but it's completely smooth on top. Yeah. It's just old man book.
Yeah, we'll do it together, and Clarabelle, it is really clear that it's not you, it's her.
I don't want to have to join the newspaper. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you guys do? You're here in this place. You need more greens. What do you do? Where do you go? This is a facility, that might have more supplies somewhere, or there is there's a back garden, not garden, but a back area that they let animals out in. You could like order some from Grubhub at a cost of a woofie. And
Damn sick burn. Sick meta hacking infinity burn. Damn.
I'm gonna steal your currency
Fuck,
rules.
even is a woofie. I mean, come on.
Look, it's a very important kind of currency.
Feel free. They're not copyrighted.
You said it here. I'm like close this up like a whole bunch of like merchandise based on woofies. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the garden sounds like blatant trap. Like, oh, roll me initiative. It sounds like that immediately.
A place where all these different animals roam.
Sure. I mean, you know, I'll go there for clarity.
Sure. Yeah.
Or you could search to see if there are storerooms here. You could try to cast magic to grow more things from the few supplies that you have.
I mean, can you?
Well,
I mean, sorry, I'm quite ignorant on the ins and outs of druids, but can you not maybe grow the plants?
I can't, not in such a short time. I can only do this. And she like takes a little piece of the plant and like a little flower blooms and like a little vine grows over her hand. Like, I can only do little stuff yet. I'm not as good as my sisters at it.
There's a garden right there. Let's go.
And you look out the window and you see like a Pokemon butterfly, and then like a giant T-Rex mouth like chomps down on it. And she's like, okay. And then there's like a rumble underneath the earth, like Bugs Bunny style. She's like, yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be nice to get outside.
Yeah. I think I just assumed that I can manage the situation. It'll be fine.
All right.
Okay, well, as I said, just destroy my diary if I'm eaten.
Yeah. Yeah, blast my cash. And so, you guys head outside? All right. And since it's almost 2:00, should we take a little break? And then we'll pick up outside in the shelter yard?
Sure, where we clearly won't roll initiative. But yes, it would be good to have a break.
It's like, it's got an exit, and it's like, prepare your D20s. No, it says roll on one side, and then there's a sign that says initiative once you step outside. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll be back, and it'll totally be fine, and nothing will get hurt, and it'll be great. So, please stick around or click on the next thing if you're watching this offline, which is more likely.